Hello and welcome to my little corner of the internet. If you're new here, I'm Estelle and I love sewing, crocheting and pretty much any DIY or cozy crafting. In my last video, I tackled so many projects at once that honestly, I ended up feeling a little overwhelmed. So this time, I want to take things slow, focusing on just one piece, enjoying the process and making it the best I can, quality over quantity. For this project, I'll be choosing a pattern from this amazing 80s sewing book. My mother-in-law gave it to me. It's actually the book she used when she started taking sewing classes at just 14 years old. It's full of incredible patterns, skirts, shirts, and even a full suit that looks so badass. For now, I've decided to go for this gorgeous and fancy night dress. However, if this video reaches 4,000 likes, I'll also make the suit. So if you want to see that, don't forget to like the video. It's been a really long time since I bought fabric. I usually work with old clothes, upcycling them into new pieces. But it's going to be so satisfying having a large, untouched piece of fabric. No seams to unpick, no buttons to remove, just a perfect, clean slate for sewing. I want something glamorous and dreamy, maybe with a little bit of a shining effect. Let's see what I can find. Hello, I'm back home and this is what I bought. I needed new needles, thread, matching zipper just in case, and this green fabric that has some shine in the right side. It feels so special to be using this vintage sewing book. It's like I'm stepping into a movie or TV show from the 80s. The illustrations, the style, even the way the patterns are laid out. It has such a unique charm that makes this project even more exciting. But it has a disadvantage. This pattern comes with very little instructions. Just drawings of the pattern pieces I need to cut and some description. It doesn't even specify if it should have a zipper or buttons, so I'll have to consult my mother-in-law and see how she would do it. First, I need to calculate the size of each piece using my own measurements. My mother-in-law also gave me this measurements notebook that shows how to take measures and has the form on the side to take notes, which is great because it's been a long time since I did something to my measurements. I can't describe the feeling of using this notebook. It's so pretty. Now that I have my measurements, I have to transfer it to the pattern paper. I took patronage classes some time ago, but still I get lost when making the calculations. I had to read my notes again and then watch some advice for using vintage patterns. Luckily, my partner Eneko was here and he has such good memory and patience with these things. Plus, he has seen his mother sewing for years, so he has a lot of knowledge. The book explains it the same way as my teacher did. We have to start making a rectangle and from there we start adding all points needed to make a basic front and back pattern. From there, we will have to adjust it to match the pattern of the vintage dress. Now that we have the dress pattern on paper, we can play more with it to make some modifications. I've seen this other 80s dress with an open back and I think it would look charming on this dress. I want to open the back of the dress and also make this front part work as a belt and go all the way around the back. And then add a zipper so it can fit more snugly around the waist. Since I'm doing modifications to the pattern and I bought just enough fabric to make the dress, I'm going to make the top part of the dress with another fabric first, so I can test how it fits before cutting the final fabric. I really should make test pieces more often. This one fits so well and it came together so quickly. I'll be sewing with much more confidence now, knowing we got the measurements right. Although I still have time to lower the neckline a little more, like in the dress I'm wearing. I'm also thinking of using this pattern to make a top someday. So now that I'm sure about the pattern, I can finally cut the fabric and start sewing the dress. Yay! The book tells me to make the skirt on the bias, which means I should work the fabric at 45-degree angle to the grain and width of the fabric. This adds a little stretch and makes the skirt flow more. I've never done this, I hope it turns out fine.
It's a hard thing to know that your soul will stay hollow. Even if I know that nothing lasts forever, it's not easy to let go. Can you love me again? Can things ever be the same?
The moment to cut the fabric arrived, and I was having a bit of an off day. The pattern said to cut the front and back pieces as one, but I completely forgot. Well, it just means there will be a seam at the shoulders instead of being seamless.
There we go. All the things I wanna say, and maybe he'll listen someday. I know it is not enough to say I'm sorry. Didn't beg him to stay, so there he goes. There he goes. Yes, there he goes. There he goes. Yes, there he goes. I know I did him wrong. Now something is broken inside me. I got what I gave. I am worthy to feel this way. But I want him to know that nothing I did was to hurt him. And I'm sorry I gave him this burden. There he goes. Yes, there he goes. Yes, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Cutting the pieces was easy, but figuring out how to attach the lining to the front piece was, as always, the tricky part. It took a bit of a trial and error and some unstitching, but I finally got it right. Definitely one of those moments where you're reminded that sewing is all about patience and accepting the learning process. Now I just need to add the belt and then it will be ready to attach the top to the skirt. Let's do it! As always, when trying to make something right, I have to pin everything, baste it and try it on before sewing. The 3 basic steps that I skip too many times, but not this time. Today I was much more focused and made great progress. The belt is done and it's looking pretty good. I do wonder if I should have added some interfacing to give it more structure, but I didn't have any on hand. Now the only thing left is to add the zipper. Time to baste again. I'm sorry if this is making the video too long, but I want to reflect the actual work the seamstresses do to make the beautiful dresses we wear. Now, I was having some trouble with the hem of the skirt, but I found that when it's circular and has a lot of flare, it's much easier to manage if you gather the bottom edge slightly before hemming. It helps everything sit more evenly. I'm almost done, I can't wait to show you how it looks. I love how it turned out and it really surprised me how good it fits. It feels so elegant and well made. It has some details I could have done better, but still, in my opinion, it looks like a store-bought dress, or even better. In case you don't remember, this is the pattern reference. The biggest design change I made is the open back, and I don't regret it at all. It looks very romantic. I also made these removable shoulder pieces so I can choose whether to gather the fabric or leave it wide. It's so fun how much that small detail can change the whole look. I'm really happy I took the time to make just one piece with all my attention and care. Now I just need a fancy occasion to wear this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the dress? Would you have done something differently? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, if this video gets 4,000 likes, I'll make that amazing suit too. See you in the next video. Adeu!